Bills got this.
Welcome to the Beyond the Bucket Show, a podcast centered around optimizing all life's buckets. We all have buckets we are balancing: coaching, entrepreneurial ventures, family, passion projects, and health. Let's all take this journey together and become bucket fillers. And here's your host, Chris McSwain.
Hey. Welcome back to Beyond the Buckets. Another great podcast for everybody. And I just love the intro beat that we have. It's just such an amazing beat, the vibe and everything. So, appreciate Jay Fields for the beat. But today we've got a really great topic for everybody. We're going to be talking about the Miami Heat culture. So another solo pod. We have guests coming up starting next week, I believe. And since the NBA Finals are going on, I think there's no better time to have a Heat culture podcast than right now. And I'm filming this before the finals have even started. But by the time you hear this, it will at least have been game 2 of the finals. So I want to get this out before. And I'm not going to give you my prediction until the end of this, but I just think there's so many things that we can take away from the Miami Heat culture. And the Miami Heat culture refers to a unique set of values and principles that is built upon work ethic and has been established by the Miami Heat basketball team and their organization. They have been widely recognized as one of the most successful and, I think even more importantly, respected organizations just because of their culture and what they've created over the years. And I think I put together, 6 pillars on the Miami Heat culture and why they have been successful. And for as long as they have been successful, I just think it's amazing, especially in the NBA where there's so many different moving parts. There's new players every single year. There's new coaches moving around. And for whatever reason, they have sustained a level of excellence for a long period of time. And so as a coach myself, as a leader, I just think it's very important to kind of dive into why people are successful and how they've been able to do it. The first one is going to be hard work and discipline. This can be shown with their head coach. He was in the video room for the Miami Heat organization. I believe it was like 1993 when he first started. He's been there for so long and worked his way up. And now is considered one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the NBA. And they emphasize a strong work ethic, and they demand from their players discipline. They demand from their coaches discipline. They demand from their staff discipline, and not just the hard work. And they believe in putting the necessary time to make sure they continuously excel. It's one thing if you can do it for a short period of time. Anybody can do something for a short period of time, but can you do it over and over and over? And that's what I think makes this so fascinating. The next one that I want to talk about is accountability. The Heat hold everybody in the organization accountable for their actions and their performance. When you come into the Heat organization, you have to make sure that you meet the requirements as far as being in shape in terms of your demeanor and how you're going to act on a day-to-day basis. And everybody's held accountable. It's hard to hold people accountable in today's society because so many people feel like they are owed something. We don't owe you anything. But if you give everything to this organization, we're going to give you everything in return. Their leadership style and quality is just fantastic. Just think of Udonis Haslem, who's played in the NBA for now 20 seasons. I believe he's retiring at the end of this year, but he has been there just as an accountability partner for the last few years. He hasn't played much, if any, in the games, but he has been able to create a role and a lane because they know that more people that are on the ship that can provide different knowledge and skill sets to others is very, very valuable. So, just having a veteran around like that, I think is very key. And this means not just on the court, but off of the court. You hardly ever hear of any of the Miami Heat players getting into any trouble. I haven't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of any. But you see the accountability that they've followed over this tenure of just excellence. The next one that I thought about was the sacrifice and team first mentality, where you sacrifice. If you pay your dues, you're going to get the opportunity. And they prioritize a collective success over any team or individual achievements. And in today's society, again, that is very, very difficult to find because everybody's looking for the next, the best, or the most money, or whatever the case may be. And you wouldn't even say that the players in the Miami Heat are the actual best players, but right now their team is playing the best. They beat the two teams with the best records in the NBA. They beat the Bucks with Giannis, Milwaukee Bucks, that is. They beat them 4-1. And they also beat the Boston Celtics, who had the second best record in the league throughout the year and had marginally better talent if you just compare apples to apples, along with all of the injuries that the Miami Heat had. And the players are encouraged to make these sacrifices for the greater good, accepting a different role. I mean, they paid Duncan Robinson a whole bunch of money, and he didn't even play a whole lot. But guess what he's doing right now? He waited for his opportunity to come back around. A few players got injured, and now he's been doing a really good job in the playoffs this year. And his role was significantly decreased this year. And that's the sacrifice that people are willing to make. And then they adjust the style of their play for whatever it is that they need. Kyle Lowry has already won a championship for the Toronto Raptors, but he's come in, accept a lesser role, no longer a starting point guard in the league. And for somebody that has been an all-star, for somebody that has done the things that he has done in this league, that just makes it that much more appealing to the reason why the Miami Heat are the way they are. It's just amazing to me. The professionalism that the organization demands. They promote a high standard of professionalism in all aspects of the organization. This includes the interactions with their teammates, the coaches, the staff, the media, and even the fans. They strive to maintain a positive and respectful environment. And if you can have that cohesion in your workforce, you can be so much more productive. If everybody just handled themselves in a professional manner. I talk to so many different coaches or people in leadership or people that are in positions where they have to be around a lot of people. And when you can have an understanding of what being a professional actually is, showing up on time or hopefully early, because I know the people on the Miami Heat, they like to show up early probably. When you treat everybody with the same respect that you want to be treated with, it just goes a long, long way. The next part, I think, is going to be the unity and the brotherhood that the team possesses. They got a strong sense of unity, and the brotherhood is really, really strong. You could see that at the end of the finals, or the conference finals, when they all got together. It was just a really great sight. And you can just tell that they've all put everything into this. And building a strong relationship and developing trust within a team and an organization, I think, is paramount. Any great relationship has great trust. Any great relationship has great communication. Now, that doesn't mean that the relationship is going to always be sunshines and rainbows. Sometimes it could be rocky, but if you have conversational skills to be able to get through the things that may be difficult, and the communication skills, that's what you need. And from what I've seen, is from the top down, from the Arison family to Pat Riley to Coach Spo, their communication style is direct, but in a place where everybody knows where they stand. And I've always liked to know where I stand in any type of situation. I'd rather know than not know. So that unity and brotherhood is just great. That united front that they produce. The sixth pillar is going to be the continuous improvement over and over and over again. That's how you become successful. You do that same thing day in and day out. And I talked on the previous podcast about stacking a day. Now I got multiple days. Now I got a week. Now I got a month. Now I got a year. Now I have years. If you can stack those days, they turn into years. Whether that be with your relationship, whether that be with your children, whether that be with your team, day in and day out, you got to stack, continuously seek knowledge. One of my favorite acronyms that I've got from another influencer was ASK, always seek knowledge. And that could also be always seek improvement, always seek curiosity. There's just a lot of things that can pertain to. And they embrace the mindset and encourage players and staff to enhance those skills. They provide them the opportunities for growth and they follow through with them. And they also have an innovative ability to stay ahead of the competition in the league. A quick little side note. One of my good friends, Tyler Johnson, he played for the Miami Heat for 4 or 5 years. And he talked to me about a lot of these specific traits that go into it. And every single one of these things he became better at. He was already a hard worker and already had discipline, but the accountability piece really helped him. The sacrifice for the me first mentalities and go for the team first mentality. The professionalism that he learned under everybody that is so, tremendous in that organization. That brotherhood, like I mentioned, and the unity that they have, and then continuous improvement. Tyler wasn't drafted out of college. He had to work his way up, worked his way out, went to the summer league team, and finally got an opportunity and got a really good contract when his time came. But being in that organization really helped him. They call that the Spo effect or the Riley effect, where you get into a situation where the coach, the organization, they have all of these systems in place to help you, and you utilize those systems, you're going to benefit from it. And so all of it is just working on excellence. And I think the Miami Heat culture is one of those cultures that needs to be replicated. And those 6 topics are things that I think you can add to your every single day life, as well as, hopefully help others with it. But the Miami Heat culture has been instrumental in the team's success, leading to numerous playoff appearances, NBA Finals appearances, and championships. It has attracted players to come to play there. Now, it's not hard to pull somebody's arm to come play in Miami, but their culture has provided that. Like, if their organization was just trash, nobody would want to come there. But it is definitely a free agent destination. And who doesn't want to win? Who doesn't want a culture of that and a culture of excellence? And the competitiveness that they put out, their players just play so competitively. It's just an amazing thing to watch. And, I think some of the ways that they're going to help me is just remain consistent in all aspects of my personal life, with my kids, consistently being there and helping them with whatever things that they're going on or dealing with. And then your friendships. I think it's very important that you guys prioritize your friendships. It's sometimes difficult, especially when you get older, to make time for the people that you've invested in previously. So make that time and make the time to be with people that you care about and really love you. And then make that commitment to yourself daily to get better. Whatever you're trying to do, make sure you get better at it. Why would you not try to give it your all and see what you're going to accomplish by going all out? And like my previous podcast, we talked about winning and greatness and what that all means. It may not happen right away. Just understand that it is a long process to get through. But if you do it the right way, you'll be very happy with the results. So that's basically the little podcast on the Miami Heat culture and the six pillars that have made them a very successful organization. So with that being said, it's time for me to sign off. So thank you for joining us, and just really appreciate you for listening. See you next Monday.